Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today we are moving to the second chapter, network models. In this chapter, we will be seeing two models. One is we'll be explaining in detail with respect to what is OSI reference model. What is a layered architecture. Once we are getting the knowledge of the layered architecture, then we'll move on to the first reference model, network model, that is nothing but OSI. Okay, so the after that we'll be having one more particular type of model called as TCP/IP protocol suite. So these three topics we are just going to deal with respect to your network models. So first, layered task. What do you mean by layered task? It's a very simple example I'll take you. If you go back a decade or 2 decades back, uh, at that particular time, if you want to send an message from one remote place to another remote place, we had one particular beautiful service called as postal service. How that was working, you take an example. So postal service in that, when you will be posting a particular message, when you want to drop a message to a particular destination, so what you want to do is you need to take an inland letter, you need to write that particular scribble on that particular letter, you need to uh, close that particular letter, completely enclosed in an envelope, and you need to seal that, you need to put a stamp, and you need to go to the nearest post box wherever it is available in your area. You need to drop it over there. Once the drop mail or drop post has been accepted, once the postman will come around in the afternoon or maybe near the evening, so they will collect all the posts, whatever is there in the near, whatever is there in that particular post box. They will take those particular posts and make it available at the main post office. At the main post office, the people will segregate which are all the places that which are all the posts should go. Once that particular bifurcation is done, so it will be taking that particular. They'll be just handing over the bundle to a transporter. Transportation can be by means of road or train or aeroplane, anything. It really depends where we need to send. So depending on it, we use the transportation mode. Once transportation mode is defined, then it will be dumped to that particular area to the destination part. Once that destination part is reached, so what they will be doing, they will be going in the reverse order. That is, they'll start dumping that particular complete parcel to the nearest main post office. Once that particular post office will receive that particular letter, it will be bifurcated to the different subdivisions that it is having. So once it reaches to that particular subdivision office, then a particular person can take those particular bundles or nearest area. It will be distributed in the area price. So where that particular area is there, where which particular address, depending on that, the person will deliver the post. This is the layered architecture. So this is a simple way to understand the layered architecture. If you don't have the postal service, you have to do it all these particular tasks. That is, first you need to take that particular letter, write it, enclose it in the envelope cover. Then you should not drop anywhere. You should catch a bus or a train or whichever the thing that is available. It may take a day or 2 days or 3 days. So you need to drop all your jobs. You need to go with behind that particular transferring or sending that particular message itself. So that was a particular task. So if you have a layered architecture, it is having its own particular importance. Each layer will be decided or taken care by separate persons. So you will be not having that much burden. So based on that particular concept, your layered architecture comes into picture. Same thing, whatever you do with respect to your postal office, the same thing will be done with respect to your networking concept also. There is no change in it. So this is the example that I have just given it. So three layers they have just categorized. High layers, higher layers is nothing but what we write it and what we drop it in the mailbox. Next in the mailbox, whatever is available from that post office, it will be going. All these particular details will be covered in the middle layers. The lower layer is nothing but your transportation. So that is okay. At the end of the day, you will be bundling it. That bundle will be taken care by the post office, main post office carrier. So once that particular post office is delivered, it will be just passing that. It will be just reverse particular thing with respect to the receiver. Layered architecture makes a complex system easy to construct, understand, and so each one will be a different one. So it will be easy for everybody to manage their job rather than going through the complete process. So it will be just a modular based approach. That's what they will be just doing. Next, the OSI model. So in this OSI model, it was established in 1947, and standardized organization got into the real world. In 1947, the International Standard Organization was evolved. So this particular thing in the worldwide agreement about the international standards, whatever was available, everything was standardized under this particular type of organization. And ISO standard that covers all concepts of network communication is the Open System Interconnection, OSI, Open System Interconnection. That was a model that we have decided to go through. This was first introduced in the late 1970s, that is after 1975, before 1980. Before. So OSI is a model, ISO is a standard. So it purely depends. It has been decided, or it has been designed. OSI model has been designed based on the layered architecture itself, which we saw in the previous slide. And there are two more concepts to be covered under this particular belt. One is called as peer-to-peer process. What is peer-to-peer is all about, and encapsulation. We'll just see one by one. Okay. As I said, ISO is nothing but International Standard Organization. It is nothing but an organization that we have. OSI, Open System Interconnection, that is nothing but your model. So this OSI model is grouped into, or segregated into 7 different layers. Talking from the top layer, we'll be just going with it. What we are seeing is the topmost layer that is visible on the screen. This is called as an application layer. Its job is to just visualize what you wanted to have it. So that's all it will be just going to deal with this. Next one is the presentation layer. Presentation layer, here we will be managing certain particular tasks, as well as we'll be reconstructing certain particular representation, because translation need to happen. What we enter in the application layer may not be understood properly to your system. So in order to make that particular thing understand, we want some translation that will be done with respect to your presentation. It need to be presented in the manner where anybody can understand, or a system can understand in a simple manner, or a particular node can understand. So for that, presentation is required. Next is session. Session will open a particular door for entry and exit point. That's it, nothing else. So transportation, it is a carrier. As I told you, with respect to your bus, train, aeroplane, in a similar manner, here connection and connection less, two types of things exist. So with respect to that, you require to know transportation layer. Mainly, we will be concentrating with TCP. TCP is for connection oriented, UDP is for connection. So wired, wireless, in both the cases it is possible. Next one is your network layer. Network layer is mainly concentrated for your routing purpose. It has its own routing table. So each particular entry, where which particular source, which is a destination, where it need to go, which is the next nearest node. If I pass to that particular node, can I reach the destination? All the calculations, all the particular things, routing purpose, whatever is necessary, that will be done. And the data link layer, next one. In the data link layer, there are Ethernet as well as Wi-Fi. Ethernet, whenever we call it as, it is a cable, and in front of the cable, it will be having several windings. So each particular windings will be having its own importance. So that should be kept in a particular proper manner. So one particular socket needed. So with respect to that, well, you can just imagine. If you imagine a LAN cable, that is nothing but your Ethernet pad. Next is your Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi device will be almost all of you are familiar with respect to this particular thing called as Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity. So this wireless fidelity will be having an access point. From that access point, you need to have a connection with respect to this. Now, if you talk about this particular Wi-Fi, whether it is a connection oriented or connectionless, if you are using TCP, then it will be a connection oriented. If you are using an UDP, then it will be a connectionless. Understanding it? Wireless does not mean that it is connectionless or connection oriented. Connectionless is different. Wireless is different. So keep that in your head. Next one is physical layer. In the physical layer, once again, when we are talking about the physical layer, so with respect to this particular physical layer, it will be in terms of simple bits, raw data, how your system can understand in that particular fashion, the data will be fed into this particular layer. This layer is an interface between your complete entire system and system to the transmission medium. That's it. You can just so this is how your particular 7 layers has been decided. Next is interaction between the layers. See here, device A wants to send the message to device B. So whenever you are sending some particular thing in the transmission medium, whatever you transmit, it will be carried to the particular certain amount of distance. Example that I will be giving you when I cover this particular physical layer. So here from the application layer, it's a peer-to-peer communication will happen. That means application, presentation, session, transportation will be between the end system to end system. Whereas your network, data link, physical is hop to hop. And network sometimes it will not be considered as a hop to hop. It will be working as a hop to hop as well as peer to peer. If you have a router as the intermediate node, then only your particular network will be behaved as a hop to hop communication. If it is a switch or hub, then data link layer. So why this particular intermediate nodes is needed? What is peer to peer? Peer to peer is end to end. That's it. Whereas with respect to your net data link, physical, if you're talking about, as well as to some extent network, if you're talking about, then it is not peer-to-peer. End-to-end transaction will not never happen. What it will be doing is, it will be taking care with respect to some of the intermediate nodes which is available. Why it is so? Why you require intermediate nodes? See, very simple example I'll give you. You are standing in the third floor, and you are somebody is standing on the ground floor. You are shouting, or you are just passing a message to that particular fellow. That fellow can understand only few words, whatever you deliver, not the complete message. So how to make sure that that person will be uh, need to understand the whole message? For that, either you need to have a particular amplifier, that is nothing but your microphone, or a particular speaker, followed by a particular mic, where in the mic, if you just pass that particular message, it will be transmitted to a larger distance. So whenever a distance comes into picture, at that time, just place a white code. So because we are sending electromagnetic signals, either electrical signals or magnetic signals, we can pass it, or combination of it. It cannot transmit to a larger distance. How to make that particular thing happen? Use this particular intermediate. So using this intermediate nodes, you can transmit the data to a larger extent. There is no problem at all. So based on that particular thing, we are transmitting the data from one particular device A to device B, whereas device A is very much far when compared to very much far. Device A and B are totally having a far distance when compared to your intermediate nodes. So it will be just taking a small particular halt with respect to your in the intermediate node, it will be having physical data link network. Suppose this intermediate node itself is a one more particular end system, then all these particular things will come into play. Keep that. That's all. Next, we'll go with the next one, an exchange, how it will be moving. So each one, encapsulation, that's what we were just talking about, right? The encapsulation comes here. Data, whatever you fed it, definitely the data only you need to send it. How that particular data should be attached? For that one information, which layer it is available? For that one information you need to attach it. That information is nothing but header. Header always carries the information part. The data is next one. So next, along with the header with respect to the 7th layer, followed by the data, it will be nothing but your data for the next layer. So for that, once again, you just pass it to the information to be attached. It goes on. So once it reaches to the data link layer, not only header information along with the trailer. Why Taylor is needed? Taylor will be having too many access control, too many controls will be taken care with respect to data link layer. One such as your flow control, another one is error control, another one is some access control, which is very, very important because we will be not knowing who will be available in the network, who has initiated the network at what time. So for that particular reason, access control plays a vital role. So all these particular things is very important. Just to have that particular details about it, so you need to have it. Right? So once this particular Taylor followed by data 2, that is followed by header 2, all these are nothing but your data for the physical layer. In this particular layer, What we'll be doing is we'll be having some bits of data, that is 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. That is in the raw format, how the system can understand, that is how it will be just fed. So this one will be attaching one more header. That header is also one of the 3-bit binary digits will be just attached. That's 0, 1, 0, or 1, 0, whatever. Now this is fed with respect to your transmission. So this is the data to the signal. How it will be transmitted. That is what the main characteristic, one of the characteristic of your physical layer, how it will be done. So once again, once it is at the receiver end, so it need to transmit back to the original data format from the signals to the data. How it will be done? We'll just see it in the physical layer once we have the physical layer concept. Once this is available at the other end, at the receiver end, so the same particular data, once again, the reverse process. The whole particular data, that is whatever you are saying it, that will be converted to a transmitted data layer present at the receiver end. So header will be separated, your trailer will be separated. Next, we'll go to the next layer, that is your network layer. In the network layer, after checking whether the destination has been reached, that particular part will be taken into consideration. That information part will be taken. Next, it will just take care with respect to your transportation. Okay, TCP you are targeted, TCP only. Fine, no problem. You can just go with it, saying that it is so and so. So you can just bifurcate it. Next is your session layer. Session layer, okay, same port number, I'm just attaching, same particular address, I'm just going. So fine, we'll be going to the next one. So presentation, you have now particular with respect to your numbering format. From the numeric format, you need to translate back to the normal textual format so that everybody can understand what the data is. So for that particular thing, presentation is once it is done, it will bifurcate its particular header information. It will send it to the application. Once the application layer receives that particular packet, it will be just checking that okay, this is what it is coming from. So that particular layer information will be separated, will be bifurcated, and the data will be sent to it will be received at the receiver. This is how the flow goes with respect to your exchange of data with respect to WhatsApp encapsulation. Layer by layer will be just seeing how each particular layer will be behaving, what are all the different uh, characteristics of each layer one by one with respect to OSI model. Okay, first is the physical layer. We'll go from bottom layer. So bottommost layer is, if you are sender, bottommost layer is the physical layer. If you are receiver, bottommost layer is nothing but the first layer that you'll be receiving. So a topmost layer is application layer. Okay, it should be going in that particular fashion. So that's why physical layer is that the bottommost layer, that is first layer, that is what we'll be saying. So in this particular thing, so you are feeding some data. It is representing or it will transmit the data one bit at a time between one system to another system, or hop by hop transmission will occur with respect to your transmission of data from physical medium. That's what it is. And physical medium will be direct digital signals. Digital signals can be connected with respect to your Ethernet or optical fiber. The second one is modulated signals also. You can just have it. Modulated signals is nothing but your Wi-Fi. Modulating user, modulating sender. It may be exceeding or it may be decreasing, whatever it may be, it will be changing. Signals will be changing. That's what your modulated is. Next one is physical layer is responsible for the movements of individual bits from one hop to another. One hop to another, if you are getting confused, one node to another. That's it. Which is the nearest node? That node. That node is called as that particular one node to another node. If you are transferring one hop to another hop with this. Several other characteristics are available with respect to your physical layer. So we'll list one by one. Physical layer, always it will be playing a vital role as an interface between your end system and the transmission layer. That's all. First one is. Next one is, it will be always considering whatever the data is coming from the data link layer, it will be fed in terms of, it will be represented in terms of bits. So mainly we need to know some coding concept. Coding concept is nothing but very simple C language code you'll be writing it. Code, why we'll be mentioning that particular word? It is very simple. You open the flower brackets and close the flower brackets. That is having some meaning. So once you are a programmer, C programmer, you will be exploring all those particular details. It looks like a normal English or normal character itself, but it has some special meaning. So that is what your coding style. In a similar manner, whenever you find a data that is data bit 0, 1, you need to represent it in terms of signals. So that will be taken care from one particular system to another system. So that is very important with respect to your presentation. So that representation of bits will be taken care with respect to your physical data. Next one is data rate. How many data has been sent? In a second, how many data can be sent? So that is nothing but your rate of data. Synchronization of bits. Okay, we'll come back to the previous slide. Here, 1 is transmitted at the beginning. Next, 0 will be transmitted at the next. So 1, after that, 1 is there. If I transmit 0, then there will be a different meaning. So that synchronization need to happen. One after the other, the bit need to be transmitted. Once one after the other, whatever is the data is there, should be taken. And if you are sending it, means the receiver should be ready. Then only you can transmit. Otherwise, the data will be lost. So all those particular things will be coming under the synchronization of the bits. Next one is with respect to your, and within the time only you need to receive that particular bit. If you drop it, then once again you need to retransmit. Those particular things will be coming into picture with respect to synchronization. Sorry, excuse me. Next one is with respect to your line configuration. So there are so many particular type of configuration available. There is point to point. That is one system to another system, or one system with respect to n number of systems. Simple example is whether you are having a star topology or a bus topology or a ring topology. So if you are having bus topology, then multiple points comes in picture. So you want to transmit all the particular points on a particular point itself. So that's how your line configuration is. So that will also be taken care with respect to physical layer. Topology, very important thing. Which type of how the arrangements has been made? Is it arranged in a ring fashion? Is it arranged in a bus fashion or a star that is centralized? One particular hub is there. It will be transmitted. All particular machines will be connected to that. How it will be done? That particular thing also taken care. Next one is transmission. Very important. This transmission mode, what it will be doing is whether you only can transmit the data, you only can transfer the data, or you can receive the acknowledgement. Once you transmit, you can wait for a certain amount of time, then you will be getting the acknowledgement, or two-way communication happens. So two-way or one-way will be decided by your transmission. Simplex, half, or full duplex. Next, we'll move on to the next layer, that is data link. That's all with respect to your physical layer. Very short. In a brief, we have just introduced it. In depth, we'll just see it one after the other once we enter the physical layer. Okay. So data link layer, what it is there? So it will be containing, it will be having the data from the higher layer, that is higher layer is network layer, and it will be just sending that particular layer thing to the physical layer. This is also hop by hop transmission, transfer of the data. But here, the data, entire data will be cut into pieces. Each pieces is named as frames here. That's all. That's the thing that we'll be just concentrating. So it will be having header and followed by footer. Header is nothing but it will be having extra information about not only where that particular data is available, along with that particular information, it will be attaching the error control or error detection, error correction methods, whatever is necessary, which method is. All those particular details will be attached to it. That's all. So it is responsible for moving frames from one to. Apart from that, any other thing is that framing, that's what I said. So you need to get that particular data. Once you get that particular data, you need to segment that, or you need to cut cut it into pieces. Each particular piece is nothing but your frame. And it will be taken care with respect to your physical addressing part. That is your media access control addressing. So that will be taken care with respect to. Next one is your flow control. Flow control, as I said, constraint will be there with respect to whether I can transmit the whole data as I receive, or it should be cut it short so that I will be not losing any amount of data in between. So, or else I will be not overwhelming receiver, overwhelming the receiver. That is nothing but you're not burdening the receiver. So whatever the data is there, if you just transmit it, it is hard for that. Yeah, a simple example I'll give you. So, okay, I have been assigned a particular class. Anyway, you'll be very leisurely available in the afternoon, so that I can just, if I just go on doing the classes, it will be overload. That is, it is be burdening. So You cannot concentrate. So that is nothing but that particular thing we need to consider. As we have put in the timetables, depending on the timetables, you will be just switch it over to different subjects. You are getting a different tone, so you can concentrate better, so you can do good things over there. Otherwise, it will be a same concept, same thing, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, it will be a bore. How can you overcome that? That will be taken care with respect to your data. Next is your error control. This is okay, fine. You have identified that somewhere I have done a mistake. That facility is available. Along with detection, you can correct it over there itself. That facility is available. Or you can add an additional bit saying that if this bit comes, then there will be an error. That's also possible. You can correct it over there. That facility is nothing but your error correction or error control. Error control characteristic. Next one is access control. Yes. Suppose I'm also talking, you're also talking, then there will be no issue or no gain, no loss. That means all the packets will be coming, hitting at one particular end, all will be dropped or all the data will be dropped. That should not happen. So what we need to do is, if somebody is starting a particular conversation, then the other should listen. If you are at, or if we are physically present, means somehow we can manage it. But in the network, no physical devices are there. Nothing. Just like your online classes. In the morning or in the first session, I told many times saying that don't write annotations on the screen. But nobody listened. They started their own particular thing to do. How to control it? You need to have an access. Access should be denied for them. How to do it? I have disabled it at my end. Very simple thing. It's required. Otherwise, it will be overlapped. Once it is overlapped, nothing will be uh, freely or nothing will be uh, easily understood. So for that, we need to have access control. Okay. Next, we'll go with hop by hop delivery. Still, this particular data link here, how it will be going. So normally, end system A want to transmit data to end system. Yeah. So here, hop to hop delivery. So that is A is very much far when compared to your F. So there are lot of other devices attached other than your end system. So B is one intermediate system, E is another intermediate system. So your particular end system A starts transmitting the data. It is at the data link layer. That means it has identified or it has been taken care with respect to a error correction and detection technique also. And it is controlling the flow also, as well as the access is also controlled. Everything is attached and all those information will be attached to it and transferred to the data, physical layer. Once the physical layer takes the charge, it will be converting all the particular data into bits, and each bit it will be starting to transmit it through the transfer. So it will transmit it to the next particular immediate node. Immediate node can be intermediate node or a particular system. That's all. But here, according to this particular diagram, the next immediate node is an intermediate system. Thinking that this is a router or a hub or a switch, your particular data will flow in one particular end, and the other end it will be transmitting to the next particular next in the similar fashion until and unless it reaches to the destination. Just keep on changing that particular position. Okay. Next one is your network table. Okay, you have done. You have understood with respect to your physical. Physical is nothing but physical layer is nothing but it will be in terms of bits. The individual bits will be transferred at the time. So whereas with respect to your data link layer, it will be attaching the few characters like flow control or record control or access control, all these particular things. And sorry, not and all these particular things will be considered with respect to it. It's also hop to hop. Above this particular data link layer, we have one more layer called as network layer. Network layer is responsible for providing the rules. Very simple. Providing the it will be attaching the source and destination addresses. So with respect to the source and destination addresses, I will be just starting to search the particular thing. I'll say Vidyanagar in Shumoga. That's all. In Vidyanagar, where it is coming, there are a lot of layouts available now. Near Country Club, I'll have it. So near Country Club. So one more particular address. In that one more particular, I'll give the Door number, it will be easy. Street number, it will be easy. So like that, those particular information is nothing but here, the addresses. So that address is source and destination. From where it is coming? From the college it is coming, college JNC. So to where it is situated is another. So to Vidyanagar, it will be transferred. So that is the Vidyanagar, Shimoga is nothing but here the destination. If you search for it, and it will just transfer. What are all the things that it will be having? So in the network layer is responsible for delivery of individual packets from the source host to the destination. Okay. Individual packets, it will take it. What do you mean by packet now? Fine, okay. Packet means all or nothing but data itself. If you say frame, if you say packet, if you say something else, everything is data. Bits, it's a data. So in each of the layer, it understands by its own language or its own particular terminology. In the network layer, we call it as packets. In the particular data link layer, we call it as frames. In some other particular transport layer with different names, so and so. It goes. So it is nothing but the data only. Now, what your network layer is responsible is the two hosts can be many hosts. Okay. It will be helpful to transmit the data from source to the destination. So it can have n number of in-between hosts available, sorry, hops available. That means intermediate nodes can be infinite. It is not bothered. Whereas with respect to data link layer, it is a single delivery, one hop at a time. Here, multiple hops it can go with it unless it reaches the destination host. Network layer responsibility, mainly two things. One is logical addressing will come into picture because for a particular machine, you need to provide one particular address. This is not the physical one. This is a logical. Logical means it can change. It's for our knowledge. I have just made it that particular type of terminology. So for this address resolution protocol, takes a while. So that will be taken care of with the data. So that's why address resolution protocol comes into picture. So IP addresses, yes, we'll be taking it. So IP is nothing but internet protocol addresses. IPv4, IPv6 addresses will come into picture. IPv6 will be having that. IPv4 is 32-bit, IPv6 is 128-bit. So that's how it will be just categorized. In the data link layer, the address will be in terms of physical address. Physical media access control address. Here, routing. That's what I said. Routing is very important. So now we'll be adding one more layer to the previous example. We'll just come back to it. So this is network to network is source to destination delivery, whereas in between hop to hop delivery. Okay. That's all. Next one is a transportation layer. Transportation layer is responsible for carrying the data. While carrying also, all the data have I carried or not to check for that error control and how the flow goes. Whether there is a problem in between or all the particular packets at a time I need to transmit it, whether it can sustain the network can sustain all the particular data or I need to make that particular things into bits and pieces and then it will transmit it. Here segments comes in picture. So segmentation need to happen with this. All the data completely I cannot transmit it. Very simple example right now I can give you is the email addressing. In your email, you'll be transmitting your data. And the data is nothing but in terms of file, you'll be transmitting it. That file content is 1 GB, but maximum data that you can transmit in one attachment with respect to your email is 25 MB. You need to cut short that. So 4 different pieces you need to cut it and you need to just transfer to the other end. That is nothing but a segmentation. That is where your flow control comes into picture. So based on that, flow control will be there in your transportation layer as well as in the data. And transportation layer is responsible for delivery of a message from one process to other process. Suppose in a particular machine A, one process is running. Say for example, one particular browser is running. And in the particular another particular machine, end machine, one particular folder is open. Now, in that folder, one file is there. That file need to be taken it or need to be whatever the contents of the file is that contents of the file need to be transmitted to the browser. Browser is one process. Your file opening, whatever is that, another process. You need to communicate between these two processes. If you are communicating with respect to these two processes, it is end-to-end communication. There is nothing to do with respect to your intermediate nodes. So that's how your transportation layer is um, kept for responsibility of the transportation line. Next one is transport versus network layer. What is transport layer? What is network layer? So with respect to a network layer, there is a logical communication between the hosts. It is between the host, there is a logical communication. Whereas transportation layer, with respect to a transport layer, it is between the processes. That's it. Logical communication means there is no physical wire will be going on. It will be just connected logically. That means, okay, this is connected with respect to it. This is how the connection goes. This is how that has been written. Okay, you'll be writing the code, right? Any C, C++, Java, or .NET, whatever, any languages. They'll be always speaking with respect to this concept called as logic. Where to get this logic? How to get it? Not physically exists. It is the thing. Once you go on exploring or writing the program, you will be coming to know, okay, this is what it has happened. This one can use it or not. How the data will be going. So there will be a logical thing coming into picture where you can just have a look into how the particular data or how the particular steps has been taken into consideration. In similar fashion here also, we just having a logical communication, not the exact communication. Right? Next we'll go to this. Reliable. It is reliable process to process delivery of a message transportation. Keep that in mind. Network layer, host to host delivery. Transportation layer, any other characteristics is that, we'll just see it. It is service point addressing. So addressing plays a vital role because based on that particular address only I can enter from the session layer. Session layer will be opening the door based on that particular address itself. Which type of service? Whether you are streaming it, whether you are connection oriented, connectionless, depending on that, I'll be just sending. Once that is done, the next step is you need to go with one particular part called a segmentation. Why reassembly is needed? Segmentation is the one that we'll be concentrating. See, at the sender end, you're segmenting. At the receiver end, you need to reassemble it. Whatever the segments that you have made it, you need to combine it in order to make a meaningful sentence. So yeah, that is what the segmentation and reassembly is all about. Why it is needed? It is because of the flow control or the error control also. Next one is connection control. This plays a vital role. Whether you are streaming it, whether you are connection oriented or connectionless, it's your connection oriented TCP, connectionless UDP. UDP refers to user data packet, TCP refers to transmission control protocol. Summary of each layer. So we'll not go in depth with respect to your session, presentation, and physics application layer because we are not concentrating that much, and we will be seeing your transportation layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer with respect to voice and reference model in the next semester, that is in your computer networks concept. So whereas in this particular data communication part or data communication concept, we have just seen only three layers. One is physical and data link layer to the extent network layer to a possible extent will touch that particular layer, but not in depth. Okay, so this is how it will be. So we'll be summarizing it. So if we are going from the topmost layer, that is physical application layer, topmost layer is application, sorry, 7 layer is application layer. It will allow the access to the network resources. That's all. It will just give you one particular addresses or services name. It will be just allowing you to access that particular network. Next one is with respect to your presentation layer. If you're talking about it, it need to translate, encrypt, and compress the data. Compression is required just to transmit the particular flow control. Okay, how much flow depending. So whether it is needed to compress it, purely depends. But compression will be taken care with respect to your presentation. Next, with respect to your session layer, it will establish, manage, and terminate the session. That is, it will open the door, close the door. That's all it will do. So transportation, it is provided with respect to reliable transfer of data from one process to another process, or the reliable process to process message delivery and error recovery will be need to take care with respect to transportation. Network layer, it will move the packets from source to destination, provide inter-network. That's all. It will move the packets from source to destination, and it will just provide a inter-networking of between those two particular hosts. Whereas the data link layer, it will organize the bits into in terms of frames. That's a terminology used over there. It will, and those particular frames will be delivered hop by hop. This one machine to another, next immediate machine. It will not go to the end system. It will not directly go to the end system. Next immediate machine, it will just go. Whereas in your transportation layer, one process to another process, that is peer-to-peer communication will happen. So whereas physical, it's also hop to hop, but here in terms of bit, it will be represented. And it is also responsible for converting the bits into the magnetic or electronic signals. So keeping that in our head with respect to your OSI model, we have one more particular model they have designed it, network administrators. What this particular name that they have given is TCP IP protocol stack. It's also a layered architecture. Same 7 layers, they have compressed it. We don't want to use all the 7 layers. We can reduce that particular 7 layers to a 4 or 3 layers, where we will be combining 2 or 3 layers and getting the same particular operation or whatever the facility that we were getting it in 2 layers, we were merging it. So 2 layers has been merged, means 2 layers characteristics are also being merged. So all those particular details will be getting it in one particular. How many layers we have? So in this particular TCP IP layer, we'll be having 5 layers. That is what they are saying it. But physical and data link layer has been merged and saying it as a one layer. And above that, network layer will be there. Above that, transportation layer will be there. Above that, application layer. So 3 layers has been combined. Application, presentation, and session has been combined to an application. So this is what the 4 layers. What do you mean by TCP? Transmission Control Protocol. IP refers to Internet Protocol. So that's all with respect to it. Now TCP IP and OSI model, that's all how it will be compared. That's what they have just given it. So your data link and your physical layer has been attached to one particular single layer called as the physical and data link layer. So it is called as, it will be having some protocols defined under that particular belt. It will be abed to that particular from one host to the network that you are at. Network in the sense transmission medium. That's what I'm talking. Okay. Whereas in the network layer responsible for your addressing. So IP comes into picture, Internet Protocol addressing part. So here address comes into picture, means it will be concentrated with respect to your ARP, that is address resolution protocol. So one protocol is done with respect to addressing concept in order to take care of it. Next, if you want to send a message in a group, or you want to control that particular thing with respect to your intercommunication that you are having it. So based on the 2 more protocols, ICMP and IGFT comes into picture. All these are coming under your IP protocols. Next, above this particular layer is the transport layer. In the transport layer, we have 3 different, right now it is 3. You can have n number of such protocols defined over there. One is connectionless, another one is connectionless UDP, connection oriented TCP. Apart from these 2, we have one more particular protocol available in the transportation, that is free method. Whether all the particular things, whether it is in the same particular manner or not, will be just having. Okay, we'll just stop it over here. We'll continue the rest of it the next.